of color still battle with discrimination and racial attacks in the United Kingdom despite its racial and anti-discrimination laws? Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fatimata. If it is your first time stumbling on my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Today we are going to be talking about something intriguing: racial and discrimination in the UK among people of color and the white folks. So please stay with me and let's do it. In the United Kingdom, just like any other country, it is important to know your rights and the potential challenges. To help avoid discrimination and live among these stuffs, I am going to be sharing with you some few tips that I personally use living in the United Kingdom that will guard your physical and mental health. The first point is knowing your rights. Familiarizing yourself with the UK laws, especially the racial and the anti-discrimination laws, is very crucial. Knowing the extent that you can go with these laws and how they protect you boost your self-confidence and enlighten your powers. You have to know that once you are living in the surroundings of the United Kingdom, you are bound to be protected by these laws and expected to utilize them wherever possible. So just like any white folks, we all must be treated fairly, either in housing, education, public service, employment. Nobody should be discriminated and nobody should be racially attacked. Having this knowledge or knowing your right give you this self-confidence and the self-assertiveness that you are being protected. Sometimes all you need is a positive mindset. People that are being protected by police or bodyguards hardly feel discriminated because they know that they are being protected and they believe that nothing will harm them. In actual fact, something can harm them, but they have this mindset that they are being protected. So if you have the knowledge or the mindset that you are being protected by knowing all these laws and your rights living in the UK, then you will feel safe. Even in a case of discrimination, if you choose not to react, then it becomes a choice because you know your rights, you know that you could react. It's different from not reacting because you are ignorant. You will not be hurt that much if you choose not to react than hurting so badly because you think that these people are actually discriminating you. It is important to have the knowledge and knowing that you have a right living in the UK. It's a worldly thing. People live in different countries, people travel. We have white folks roaming the whole of Africa. And in the period where they stay in these countries, they are expected to be treated right, so as we are expected to be treated right in their countries. So that is why the laws are there to protect us. And not just using them, but having the knowledge of the laws give you some kind of self-confidence and self-assertiveness that you are being protected. And that alone means a lot. Some people don't realize it, and I hope that you do now. Number 2, report discrimination. If you experience discrimination in the UK, should you report it to the rights authorities and organizations, or you confront discrimination? Well, depending on the situation of the racial attack and discrimination or the environment in which this happen, I personally would choose to confront discrimination first before taking the next step of reporting them to the right authorities. Why do I say so? Sometimes asking questions and seeking clarification will relieve you from the mental burdenness. Sometimes all you need is clarification, and you will come to realize that, oh, it wasn't a racial attack, it wasn't discrimination. Most times what I do is I ask myself questions. Is confronting or asking these people rude? Will I be insulting them? Would they be offended? If these questions answer no, then nothing is gonna stop me. You need to ask questions. Ask why it happens, ask how, and ask what you can do to prevent or stop that. You don't necessarily want them to stop because you can't control people that discriminate or racially attack you. People that tell immigrants living in the UK that you don't have to go and fall into trouble, which is true. You don't have to ask questions. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Go to school, go to work, and go home. You are here for a mission. Make your money, get your education, and you are done. But do you realize that forgoing all these stuff is mentally draining? And all I'm saying is, if you seek clarification, if you ask questions, knowing that you would not be offending anybody, knowing that you will not be violating any rules, this is going to relieve you of the mental burdenness, which is not healthy. And what you want to prioritize is your mental and physical health. Ask questions. When you ask questions, you might even realize that this was not a discrimination, it's not a racial attack, and you get the understanding. But if you don't and you forgo it, you end up falling into depression or anxiety, which is not healthy at all. In situations where you think you cannot confront them and you cannot also forgo, that is, if it's hurting, draining you mentally, then you have to report that to the right authorities. Reporting that to the right authorities, you are not doing any harm, you are not hurting anybody, you are not violating any laws. I know most people will discourage you from doing that, but remember, doing that is just so you can get the peace that you want and improve your mental health. The third point is seeking support. It is important to connect with groups, organizations, and people that focus on racial equality, that can offer you advice and assistance. An example of these groups are the unions and like-minded individuals. The unions are there to support you in your employment, housing, education, and public service. They are there to offer you guidance and assistance with regards to what you don't know. So it is important to make sure that you belong to a union as a person of color. This will give you a sense of protection, knowing that there's a union that is there to protect you whenever you call on them. So for example, when you fall into a problem, they need someone to talk to, they need someone to stand up for you and offer you the kind of advice that is tailored to your problem. You can refer or make reference to these unions. Like-minded people are also very important to connect with because they will understand you, they can relate to what you are going through, and they can offer you the appropriate advice you are in search for. You must avoid people or groups with negative energy and negative mindsets. Avoid discouraging people and people that will always draw you to the mud. Build support groups with friends and allies who can provide you with emotional support. The fourth point is keeping record of any incidents that occurs in your life, whether it has to do with racial attack or discrimination in your workplace, universities, or schools, and in any public place. It is important to keep record of where it happens, the date it happens, the time, and any witness. This can be helpful if you decide to take a legal action one day. Remember, the UK system works in a way that they have a database of everything. So if you find yourself into a problem, whether the problem is related to another problem that you have committed before, they will bring out all the problems that or all the violation that you have done, and all that will accumulate and lead to your conviction. Incidents that do not require action should also be recorded and documented for reference purposes. You don't have to hold a book to record incidents. If the incident involved a letter or an email, you have to make sure that you keep that safely. If there was a witness, you have to make sure that you don't forget that witness. Make sure that you keep the location. Just for reference sake, there's a 50-50 chance and you don't want to find yourself wanting if you do require that information. For example, I used to work in this company where if there's a grievance, my manager sends out an email, and usually when he sends out the email, he doesn't follow up. So he sends the email out outlining what he sought to have done and requiring you to account for what he has written in the email. Most often he doesn't get back to you if you reply. Even if you decide to ignore that email, there was a higher possibility that he will not get back to you. What it means is that this particular manager was keeping record of everything that happened, because sending you the email, that is his record. And if you do not if you do not reply thinking that, oh, he will not do anything or he will not get back to me, That is your own fault. You think you are getting away with it, but you are not getting away with it. Because when something happens and you are calling to the higher management, all these stuffs are going to be brought up, and number one is you even fail to respond, even though the manager did not get back to you to remind you to respond to the email. So it is important to make sure that you respond to the email and clear your side of the story. Whether the manager replies back or not, you have cleared your side of the story. So in a situation where you are found in front of board of directors and they bring out that email, you also accounted for the email the manager sent out. If the manager did not get back to you, it means that he has consented to what you said and you have been cleared. You have to always be proactive and you have to always be thinking ahead. The last and final tip is taking care of yourself. Self-care. Take care of your physical and mental well-being. Discrimination and racial attack can be emotionally taxing, and you need to prioritize your health. So make sure you practice self-care, prioritize your health, and seek professional help if needed. Remember, while this discrimination and racial attack may exist, some people in the UK are still committed into promoting diversity and inclusion, and there are so many resources that are available to support you. Try to explore and exploit them. Please make sure you guard your physical and mental health. That is the end of this section, and if you find this piece useful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And ring the notification bell just so you don't miss out in future updates. Let me know what I need to add to my tips or what I need to take out. Thank you, and see you in my next video.